Making popcorn at home just got easy, simple, and very exciting. Guys, join me as I take you on a journey to cook up this stuff. Let's get started. Hello, guys. Welcome back to my channel. So, guys, today we are making a quick one. And if after watching this video, you will still go to the street to buy popcorn, then I bet you did not learn anything from Chef Anna. So guys, today I'm making one of your kiddies' favorite snacks and it's popcorn, okay? So as you can see, I made sure not to do too much. Like basically everything we are going to be using, you can see there is no popcorn machine. I'm using my pot and I'm intentionally using an old pot. So nothing is going to be limiting you to make popcorn at home for your kids. Okay, so you can see there is nothing, spectacular about this pot. This is an old pot in my kitchen. You can use any pot at all. So you can see it's an aluminium pot, so you don't go running around and saying you don't have a non-stick pot. Okay, so your kids, children love popcorn. Okay, and this recipe is very simple. Of course, my recipes are always simple and relatable. Okay, so I just craved popcorn, and because I make this a lot, I said, okay, let's share this video with my fans because you guys are the real OG. Okay, so guys, without so much ado, we are going right into it. So you can see this is a serving spoon. Okay, so it's not a measuring cup, it's actually a serving spoon. So it's just one spoon. I'm going to be using one spoon. This is the normal spoon that we use to serve rice in occasions, per serving, per scoop. This is that spoon. So I'm just using one of it. Of course, I'm not in my home, I traveled, so I don't have a lot of my equipment here because I can't be carrying all that everywhere. Okay, so you can see I'm just making use of any and everything available. Okay, so over here we have flavor. So if you look closely, you can see that this flavor is actually two different flavors. You can see that the colors are different. Okay, so this is my always go-to flavor. Okay, this is like my secret ingredients for all my cakes, pastries, any pastry that calls for flavor. I also use it for yogurt, but not always because oftentimes I don't flavor my yogurt. But if I must, I'm using this flavor. So this is my signature flavor. And if you're wondering what's in here, I'm going to tell you when we are wrapping up with this video. Okay, so I'm not mentioning this now, but by the end of the video, I'm going to mention what is in here. Okay, so these are two different flavors and they taste amazingly great. Okay, so having mentioned that, for this recipe, you need your pot. I've already said that. You need your flavor. This spatula, I'm going to be using it to do some turning. So you need a spoon or a spatula, and you need milk. Guys, what is popcorn without milk? Okay, in as much as you're going to be using flavor, you still need milk for that natural, milky popcorn. So this is actually the milk that I use for making yogurt. Okay, so this is lacto-rich milk. You can use any milk of your choice. Okay, I just had leftover milk from my yogurt. Okay, and guys, you need margarine or butter. You can see, like I said, I'm not trying to do anything extra. So this is like tai butter. Those they tie it for 100 naira if you're Nigerian. So this one is 100 naira. So I'm intentionally trying to make this as streetwise as possible. Okay, and this is a sugar. Okay, so I have 2 spoons of sugar here, and then this is the popcorn. Like I said, I'm trying to keep this very 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 minimal, not too much serene, but this popcorn recipe, it bangs. Okay, and this oil. Okay, so we're going to be using a mix of oil and butter for the base of this popcorn. Okay, so for the oil, i'm going to be adding I'm going to be adding 3 tablespoons, okay, for this recipe. So I've mentioned all the ingredients that we have on our list, okay. I've mentioned everything. So if you have any questions, just drop it in the comment section and I'll be more than excited to answer your questions, okay. So like I said, we are keeping it simple. We are not doing too much, okay. We are not doing too much at all. We are not doing too much, okay. So guys, do you make popcorn or do you buy popcorn? Do you know this is actually one of the simplest and easiest recipe that you can ever think of? And I'm not doing voiceover for this video because I want to keep it very, very real so that you can see that there's nothing going on in this background. So I actually have to, voice real time. What I mean voice real time, like as I'm cooking, there is a mic on me and I'm doing the voicing immediately, okay? No cut and join, guys. That is the aim. So I just remained a little, I don't know why. But let me just save this one for later because I still have my seeds, okay. So you can see, so I'm actually supposed to be doing this on heat, okay, so that the butter will be melting, but I just decided to do this here so that when we go over to the heat, we will not have any need to come back here, okay. So down to your flavor, my secret flavor. Guys, if you don't watch this video to the end, you are not going to get what is actually in here. And it's not caramel, okay, so don't be deceived by the color. It's not caramel at all. Okay, so I'm going to be using just 1 cup of this flavor, okay, just 1 cup. So now this flavor is what ensures that when you're making your popcorn, your neighbors from the other compound, they'll be perceiving it. So that is this flavor that does it, okay. So someone can literally perceive your popcorn from a distance, and then the sugar goes right in. And there are 2 ways to do this, okay. You can actually just pour in the popcorn and pop it, and then when you're done popping your corn, you will now introduce the sugar, okay. You will now introduce the sugar when the popcorn is still hot and keep turning it, okay. Or you can introduce your sugar now and then let everything just melt in together, okay. So there are actually 2 ways to do it. So this is the first way. And guys, join me live by 6 p.m. I'll be teaching you the second way, okay, just so that you have a balanced knowledge, okay, just so that you have a balanced knowledge. I love to balance my things. So right about now, we are going over to the gas. I've set it up, so I have to cut this and start again while we are at the gas, okay. Okay, guys, we are here now. So, like I said, I'm voicing immediately. So, if you can look closely, you can see that the butter is already melting in. Okay, the butter is already melting in. And please, while you're doing this, make sure you are using low heat. Okay, you're not rushing anywhere. You're not rushing anywhere, okay. So make sure that this is happening on low heat. So you can see the butter, the sugar, everything is just melting into the pot, okay. Plus the flavor is definitely not going to melt because there is nothing meltable about the flavor, okay. What just happens is just that everything will get mixed in and incorporated. So like I said, this is one way to do this, and the second way, I'll be going live to teach you that, while this one I'll just be posting it as a normal, how to make your popcorn video in my channel. So even after watching this, make sure you go look for the other method and also look at how I did it, so that anyone that comes out handy for you, you can just navigate your way through it. Okay, so the aim is just to melt everything right in here. So you can see the butter is already melted in. Okay, so this is it. The sugar, it's on its own, is also melting in, but the sugar is not going to melt 100%, so rest assured. The remaining melting is just going to do while we continue. Okay, so once the butter has just melted, you just want to, add in your popcorn. And mind you that everything happening here is happening on low heat. Okay, on low heat, everything happening right here is happening on low heat. So I'm just going to turn this. Once I'm done turning this, I'm going to close it up and allow it to pop. Okay, so right about now we are just going to close this. You can hear the sound already. It's already popping. So I just have to reduce the heat a little bit and allow this to pop. Okay, so this has to be happening on low heat. Okay, you can see some of it is already popping. So while your popcorn is popping, you don't just want to leave it there. So you want to toss it around. Okay, so you want to toss it around. Okay, okay. Actually, you shouldn't open this so because then it can pop up and you know enter your eye, and you don't want that. But because the heat is quite low, I just decided to open it and give it a quick stir. Okay, so I'm just going to increase the heat a little, but mind you that everything is happening on low to medium heat. Okay, low to medium heat. So you can see it's already popping. So now the popping has, is now intense. So I'm not going to be opening the pot anymore. Rather, I will be doing this. Okay, this is what I'll be doing. Even if I'm to open this pot, it's going to be for teaching purpose. Okay, but most times if I were to be in my house, I'll use a pot with a glass lid. Okay, so now the glass lid allows me to actually see what is happening in there. Okay, and know when it is completely popped. Okay, so that's what using a glass lid does. Guys, this thing is popping so badly. Like, the popping is so intense right now. And quick one, why I love this seed I use or I'm using right now is because the popping rate is actually high. So it has a very high popping rate. The last time I used it, I was so impressed. I was so impressed. Like, it really, really popped. I didn't even see seeds at the end of the day. So we are going to also check at the end of this if we're going to be seeing any, seeds that did not pop. So you can see how I'm shaking this. So you need to do this, okay? Because if you notice the popcorn sellers in the street, when they're making that popcorn machine has something that stir your popcorn with. You keep stirring and stirring and stirring. But since we are using pot, the only alternative is to shake. So guys, I just noticed that it's not popping anymore, so that means it's completely popped. So guys, you can see now this is what adding sugar to your popcorn, you know, initially does. Okay, so today I think the pot is actually overcrowded, so I see some seeds down there. Okay, and that is my fault. The pot is actually overcrowded. Okay, so now you can see that this popcorn has color. Now it simply means I just made caramelized popcorn. Okay guys, this is so yummy. So what happened what happens or what happened what happens when you put your sugar before popping is that you already caramelize your popcorn. Okay, you already caramelize your popcorn, so you can see this vibrant golden color. It's the sugar that caramelized the popcorn. So here the caramelized popcorn is ready. So I'm going to show you how to finish up this process. Okay, so we'll be going over, you can see how quick and easy this is, and it's very yummy. Okay, so I've actually turned off the heat. We are going to the other part of the kitchen to continue the process. Okay. Okay guys, so quick, so easy, so fast. You can see our caramelized popcorn is ready, but if you are to put the sugar after popping, it will not caramelize like this, it will just be white. So if you want to navigate through these two recipes, you have to go live with us by 6 p.m. Okay, you have to go check the live video that we already did. Okay, so in the live video I taught the other method, but whichever way, they both come in handy. So you can see how nice and vibrant the color of this popcorn is looking. All yummy. It's looking all pink. Okay, so you can see the ones that did not pop, and it's all my fault. Like the pot was small. Okay, I overcrowded the pot, so it popped until it couldn't no more. So while you are doing yours, be conscious of the size of your pot and the quantity of popcorn that you load in there. Okay, so guys, at this point, beggy beggy, beggy beggy. So at this point, see, you guys should catch her on camera. Someone is begging me. I've not even put milk, but the aroma of the popcorn has called them from the parlor. Okay, so guys, I noticed that kids actually love caramel popcorn because of the color. It has this very attractive color, so they actually love it. So guys, you just add in your milk. There is nothing too much, nothing extra. So the quantity of milk just depends on you. Okay, the quantity of milk you want to use depends entirely on you. Okay, so guys, this is a very quick fix. Okay, it's a very very quick fix, and the next time you want to Netflix, I recommend. Okay, I strongly recommend. So like I said, the quantity of milk to use, it depends on you. Okay, you can do too much, you can do too little. It all depends on how well you tolerate milk. Okay, so one thing to be sure is that the milk will go down to settle. Okay, so guys, with this few point of mine, I hope I've convinced you and not confused you that this is the way to go. Follow ye ye. Follow ye you. So guys, what do you think about this quick fix? And yes, like I promised, if you've watched this video to this point, like, subscribe, and share. And then this beauty here is a mix of cream vanilla and what's the other name? I can't believe this is happening now. Okay, this is a mix of cream vanilla and super milk. Yes, yes, super milk and cream vanilla. Okay, so that is my secret flavor mix for all my pastries, cakes, chin chin, peanuts, name them. So this is it. So when next you go to the market, just tell them to mix an equal quantity of cream vanilla and super milk for you, and you have this. Guys, the aroma is out of this world. You can't bake with this, and the aroma will not give and the taste will not give. Impossible. So I hope you enjoyed this vlog. Okay, so this is what the popcorn actually looks like. Okay, so if you have a pot in your kitchen, you have oil, you have butter, you have milk, and you have popcorn seed, you don't need a popcorn machine. Just get right into it. So this is a caramelized popcorn, my edition, and it tastes absolutely amazing. Now, just in case you want to navigate through these recipes, go to the channel, check our live video, and you will see the second way to make your popcorn at home. Right about now, I'm going to munch into this because there is no better way to enjoy sit at home. Bye.